Potential coast west North Carolina, Virginia with strong winds, soaking rain. United States Weather News Bulletin, September 15, 2025 and 10-day outlook. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. On this September 15th, the climate picture across the United States is marked by sharp contrasts. While the Midwest and Mississippi Valley are battling an expansive heat wave, the Rockies and Florida are dealing with relentless thunderstorms, flash flooding, and urban inundation. The main drivers are the interaction of a strong high-pressure dome over the central U.S., a deep trough along the Rockies, and a jet stream disturbance over the Atlantic, creating this two extremes weather pattern. The area of low pressure, which lingered off the southeast coast this weekend, may strengthen a bit and inch toward the mid-Atlantic coast as we kick off the new workweek. Coastal storm could bring heavy rain, strong winds to mid-Atlantic. The Fox Forecast Center is monitoring an area of low pressure off the southeast coast that could strengthen a bit and bring heavy rain and gusty winds to the mid-Atlantic coast. Fox weather meteorologist Michael Estim has the latest on September 14, 2025. Wilmington, NC. People flocking to beaches along the mid-Atlantic coast to try and soak up the final days of summer may be out of luck this week as a non-tropical area of low pressure spinning off the coast threatens to slam the region with strong winds and flooding rain. The area of low pressure, which lingered off the southeast coast this weekend, may strengthen a bit and inch toward the mid-Atlantic coast as we kick off the new workweek. The Fox Forecast Center said computer forecast models are split on how much the area of low pressure will strengthen and where it will move onshore. Where it does, it will bring the threat for soaking rain and increasing winds. We look at how much rain we're going to pick up, and that's nothing to sneeze at. Fox weather meteorologist Michael Estim said, "It's not a ton of rain, but some spots 3 to 5 inches of rain. That is also raising concerns of flooding." Flood threats are minimal on Sunday and Monday, but NOAA's Weather Prediction Center, WPC, has highlighted areas of the Virginia and North Carolina coasts in a level 1 out of 4 threat for flash flooding on Tuesday. The winds will also be whipping. Computer forecasts show winds could gust upwards of 40 miles per hour along some coastal locations like Hatteras, North Carolina, and Virginia Beach, Virginia. A cluster of sustained thunderstorms has developed related to the large tropical disturbance in the eastern Atlantic. But the system is very disorganized. It's surrounded by dry and dusty air, so it's not expected to be able to develop an organized circulation for at least a couple of days. By the middle or end of this week, however, the National Hurricane Center has set the odds in the high range that the system will develop into at least a tropical depression somewhere in the large red-hatched area. The consensus of the computer forecasts is that the system will develop into tropical storm or Hurricane Gabrielle. The preliminary track forecasts range from the system turning north into the central Atlantic to tracking reasonably close to the Caribbean islands and potentially turning into a threat for Bermuda next week. There is no indication of a direct threat to Puerto Rico and the nearby islands. But the system hasn't even formed yet. Until that happens, as we've seen, forecasts are subject to significant changes. Everybody on the northeastern Caribbean islands should stay up with the latest forecasts this week, otherwise. Even the long-range computer models show next to no tropical activity after this disturbance. Tropical activity is suppressed around the entire northern hemisphere for reasons that are unclear. Regardless of the reasons, we take these things 1 week at a time, and all is good for now. Thermometer Midwest and Great Plains. Current conditions. A subtropical high is dominating the central states, drawing hot air northward from the Gulf. This is driving temperatures in Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Nebraska, and Kansas up to 95 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 to 38 degrees Celsius. With some locations such as St. Louis and Des Moines potentially reaching 105 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius. Hazards. The clash between hot, humid surface air and cooler air dipping in from the north is destabilizing the atmosphere, fueling evening thunderstorms. States like the Dakotas, Minnesota, and northern Iowa are at risk for large hail, damaging winds over 60 miles per hour, and even isolated tornadoes. 10-day outlook. Sep 16 to 20. the heat continues, with temperatures running well above average. Sep 21 to 24. A series of troughs moving eastward from the Rockies will bring widespread thunderstorms, easing the heat somewhat but increasing severe weather risks. Mountain Rockies and Southwest. Current conditions. A deep trough along the Rockies, tapping into Gulf moisture, is producing strong thunderstorms across Colorado, New Mexico, Wyoming, Arizona, and Utah. The heaviest downpours raise the threat of flash floods and landslides in valleys and mountain slopes. Temperatures: 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 to 29 degrees Celsius. Cooler than the plains but with unstable weather. 10-day outlook. Sep 16 to 18. Thunderstorms persist, with heavy rain possible in Colorado and New Mexico. Sep 19 to 22. Drier and clearer conditions return, favorable for outdoor activity. Sep 23 to 24. Another trough may reignite thunderstorms. Palm Tree Southeast and Florida. Current conditions. Florida remains the epicenter for heavy rain, fueled by a tropical convergence zone and subtropical disturbances near Cuba and the Bahamas. Rainfall totals of 2 to 4 inches per day, 50 to 100 millimeters, threaten urban flooding in cities like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Tampa. Neighboring states, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, stay mostly dry under high pressure, with highs around 85 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. 10-day outlook. Sep 15 to 19. Daily heavy rain across Florida, keeping the flood risk high. Sep 20 to 22. Rainfall eases somewhat, with scattered storms remaining. Sep 23 to 24. A weak tropical disturbance may form in the Gulf of Mexico, potentially impacting South Florida and the Gulf Coast. Fallen leaf northeast and Atlantic seaboard. Current conditions. High pressure spilling down from Canada brings dry, pleasant weather. New York, Pennsylvania, and New England enjoy highs of 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 to 27 degrees Celsius, with sunshine and clear skies. Higher elevations in Maine and New Hampshire may see morning fog or even a touch of frost, an early sign of autumn. 10-day outlook. Sep 15 to 20. Continuation of cool, dry, beautiful conditions. Sep 21 to 24. A coastal low may approach from the Atlantic, delivering showers from Virginia up through Massachusetts. Wave west coast and California. Current conditions. California, Oregon, and Washington are under cool marine air, with coastal highs of 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit and inland valleys running warmer at 85 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Northern California and Oregon may pick up a few light showers. 10-day outlook. Sep 15 to 19. Dry, mild conditions persist. Wildfire danger remains elevated in California. Sep 20 to 24. A Pacific low could bring showers to Oregon and Washington, offering localized drought relief. Warning key drivers and summary. The interaction of the central U.S. high-pressure dome, the Rockies trough, and Atlantic jet disturbances is producing this, two extremes, weather setup. Scorching heat in some regions, while others face dangerous storms and flooding. Alerts for September 15th. Midwest, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Dakotas, Minnesota, excessive heat plus severe thunderstorms. Rockies, Colorado, New Mexico, Wyoming, heavy rain and flash flood threat. Florida, daily torrential rain and high flood risk. 10-day outlook. Midwest heat lasts through September 19th. Rockies see storms through September 18th. Then a short dry spell before storms return. Florida's flooding risk remains high through September 19th, with another tropical threat late month. Northeast stays cool and pleasant, though showers may arrive around September 21 to 24.